Cool. Where else would people get hung up on this journey of creating content, SEO, and capturing leads and selling them?
I think a lot of people will get stuck in the hype of it all, because it's easy when you start to research SEO to see all of the kind of gray hat tricks of the trade out there that people say, oh, you can do this quickly or you can do this fast. I know one of them we talked about was like AI and getting scared of the different things. It's really about serving your customer, keeping it simple and basic, not having to fall into, oh, I have to do this thing and swing off the chandelier and put in extra code and everything to make sure that I'm number one. Google is really, and Bing as well, they're really rewarding sites that just speak to their customer. The old days of SEO are gone, where you could put in like mass words and you get rewarded for that because you have this word on your site 100 times. And it's starting to switch to personalized results. So what I search on Google, they're tracking throughout. And they know that Crystal's habits are this. So if Crystal searches dog, this is what she's looking for, because she searched, I have her history and everything else. I know where she visits, where she goes. It's all about intent, about what I'm thinking about. They're trying to replicate my brain when they show me the search, because I'm their customer. And the closer they get to my brain, the happier I am. So if you're writing content that really just hones in on what you really do, when customers are looking for you, they're going to find you. And those customers are the ones that are going to be highly qualified, because you're hitting directly to their need, their pain points. So just really keep it natural. Don't try to do any of the tricks. Really just serve your customer that you're trying to serve on that page. That page should really be about that thing. Don't try to serve all the masters on one page, because then you're all over the place and you won't get that pain point as well. Because I might have one thing, Jared has another. We probably shouldn't get the same page if we're looking for two different things, but we can still be both on your site and still be happy.
It's cool. I'm glad that you gave that example of, if I search dog and you search dog, we're going to get two different results based on the digital version of who Google and Bing believe we are, right? So they store that data based on how we navigate the web, right? So and it's probably similar to what Facebook has and Instagram have from that Netflix. Is it a Netflix series or documentary where they have that digital avatar of you and what you like and dislike, right? Is that what you're alluding to?
It 100% is. And I like the fact you use the word dog for that, because you could be looking for dog food. You could be looking to buy a dog. You can look for a dog cartoon. And Google knows that based on your history. You use your phone, you're on your work computer, you're on your home computer, you're using the devices in your house. They're building a profile on you, whether you like it or not. They want to know. They're looking at your maps and where you lead. I know the craziest thing for me is at the end of the year when they show me all the places I've been all year, and how many times I've looped around the world essentially. And it's kind of freaky, but at the same time, it's like they really do know who I am. So when I get an ad or when I get a search result, it's tailored to me. And so you have to know that Google's tailoring to people and be able to serve that, because like you said, just think about it being an avatar of some sort and Google saying, I want to keep you happy, so you keep using me. Because you have to think the competition is getting hotter for Google. There's other search engines coming out. They want to keep you on their search engine and their platform, because the more you use it, the more data they collect and the more they're able to use that data.
I love it. So with that in mind, knowing that there's a digital version of our audience out there and we need to speak to that digital version in our pieces of content, say our articles, what are, you mentioned just be natural and overall add value, but what does that look like for somebody? Like, can we break that down? Like, is there, like you say, don't just have the same keyword 20 to 30 times, no more keyword stuffing. What are some of the do's and what are some of the don'ts in creating that great content that speaks to those digital avatars?
So we'll start with the do's. You do want to answer the question. So if your keyword is about something, imagine someone's asking what is, or why should I, or how do I, in that question. when you answer the question, make your headings the big answers to that question. So 4 or 5 huge bullet points. And this can also be the outline if you're writing your article. And then within those bullet points, you want to have subpoints that really break down what those are. So at the top, you could do like a quick overview of what you're going to talk about, especially if it's going to be long form content, and then break that down further in your content. Use charts, graphs, whatever it is that will help you, pictures, images, help your user understand that better, but make sure that you're putting your meta title, your meta descriptions on the back of those pictures so that Google can read them and know that it all is related. Use links inside of your content to external sources as well as internal sources, especially if you've written about something before that can then link your site. Imagine one big web where it's like this word means this, or it is better explained here. That helps to get your equity up, your link equity up on your site. And then make sure that you're putting in those breaks, especially if you have CTAs that will lead to a form or something that is a sales type funnel. Make sure you have that in the appropriate places on your site. That will help your user to understand what your page is about, as well as the bots, get more information about those, and then see what else on your site is about that, because Google's looking at this page, but also is your site relevant for this one topic more than just this one page? Because the more relevant you are through the entire site, the more you have that expertise, that authority, and that trustworthiness, which is big in SEO. So you want to be trustworthy on that as well. Show why you're the expert in this field, why you're able to talk about this. The don'ts, I would say, are don't just write to write. Don't write for a bot. Write for humans, because humans are your audience. Even though you're looking at the digital version, they're your audience. They're the ones that are buying. They're the ones that have the money, the dogs that will continue to visit your site. Also, don't write about things that are off topic for your site. So if your site is all about dogs, don't just throw a horse article on there because it's popular today, because it won't do anything for you. Now, if you're talking about dogs and horses and how dogs help as therapy for horses, that's something completely different. But stay in your realm. That's how you build that expertise and authority, by really, you can branch out, but make sure it's still within what your site is about. If you want to do horses, you may need to do a horse site altogether. And then I guess my last tip on that is don't overthink it. Don't go with the ebbs and the flows, hearing and freaking out about everything else that's going on. Because SEO changes every day. The algorithm changes every day. Lots of SEOs run behind the algorithm. That's our job. We like the frenzy. But as a content creator, as a writer, you don't have to get really hung up in that. If you're providing good content and you're providing what your people need, then you're going to be just fine.